All right, guys, you should be able to see my screen. And welcome into the Trade Lounge. I'm your host, Gerardo G. Money Pius, along with Danimal Hansen, where we're doing here midweek review and the study group that he has as well, right? That we'll be kind of slightly pushing it over to Wednesdays, just given that we have something else on the agenda on Mondays. Just saying hello, right? As always, right? These calls are for educational purposes only. Any trade idea or speculation is just that. So please make sure to be able to manage your accounts properly, know how to leverage them, but most importantly, right? Do not trade any money you cannot afford to lose. And where is my charts? Hold on. Did I just close it by accident? So think I probably pressed the close button. Technical difficulties now. Hold on. Let's just go ahead. Quit trading view and bring it back in. It just keeps sliding down. There it is. All right, y'all. I think, yep, this is it right here. All right, perfect, guys. So, yeah, welcome into the midweek review. What you see in front of you is actually the weekly outlook, right? I do these on Sundays to review kind of what I speculate the market would do, and this is the analysis for that. Let me get situated here with my buttons here. All right, perfect. So yeah, so this is what I speculated on Sunday, right? We always get the weekly high and low of the previous week. And we put a fib on it and from low to high or high to low, depending on the scenario. And then we create this weekly max out. If you want to see this, if you want to see this video here, check out our YouTube channel. It's there. Dan, if you don't mind, maybe locating that right quick and sharing it here to see how we came up with this outlook. For the most part, right, the weekly max outs and the to the top and to the bottom side is was important, is what I'm going to be kind of speculating and reviewing right now. And I think it was you, Jen, asking those questions, right? Like, how are you getting, or it was probably Proxy, one of you two. Like how'd you get the weekly max out? And every week, every day, every hour, right? Each candlestick has its range. And these boxes represent the previous weeks. And I believe I took the last three or four, took the average of all four of them, and kind of came up to about 100 pips. So I decided to use about 90. In total, right, this week it has moved $107, which is 1,007 pips. Alrighty. Hello, Alvaro. So around this area, we're definitely getting maxed out for the week based on averages, right? Based on averages. Sometimes it surpasses it by a lot. Sometimes it barely makes it. Sometimes it comes short. I think last week we were speculating about 90, and then it only made a range of 80 to it's only on one sided, right? It's one sided movement, the longest direction. Now inside, if you count the pullbacks, there's definitely more pip movement, but it's in one direction, in the dominant direction. That's that number. So we maxed out, right? We maxed out pretty quickly. We maxed out on Tuesday, and then we kind of had the big sell-off today. Today had a big sell-off today, and we'll see if the market continues down. Very, very interesting price action that we have, and we'll speculate here in the next charts here moving forward. But Daniel, anything that you want to say? Let me see here if I can. Uh, I think you should be able to unmute yourself. If not, something's definitely wrong with the system today, man. 1 second. Maybe if it doesn't work, Daniel, we'll just Let me, yes, I'm asking you. Try it now.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing, and I was actually looking at moving forward. This is my impulse now that I'm looking at. This is
Okay.
where I send my fib, this impulse up, and we should be at like the 23 of this big upswing, at least the 382, or if not the 50. I doubt the 50, but that's what I'm
Okay.
looking at. So,
So the
think
last three, those last 3 days, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, that's what you're
exactly those
considering an
last 3 days.
impulse. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, thanks for that tip there. I'll go ahead and speculate that here once I get to that point there, but I'll definitely take those 3 days in mind. And again, from there, right, we'll be basically
Yeah.
asking ourselves, where is price going to go and how can we find opportunity?
And this was
Okay.
a level that I was looking at this afternoon, the 50 of this particular candlestick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do like what Dan said. Monday, see, it's a little tricky, simply because, well, not tricky. I mean, because again, the most consistent thing that we can do is fib a day, take the lower high of a day, right? That's the most consistent thing we can do. But again, though, this is a very nice, strong impulse, right? A very nice, strong impulse. To keep it simple, I would fib as well those 3 days consecutively. But if you want to fine tune and get more confirmation, definitely fibbing. Well, fibbing Monday and Tuesday together will be one, simply because Tuesday got liquidated with this price action. Okay, but we'll get to those specific things here in a second. I did want to cover one more thing on the sessions boxes, and there is going to be also an update, guys. For those of you who have the S&T boxes, I'm working on a little update, not too major, but I'm finishing up the course, and I want to make sure the indicator it complies with it for that. But yeah, let's go to the. Were you gonna add something, Daniel? I believe you mute back. I
No, no,
can.
no,
You're
I'm
good.
good.
Yeah.
And like I said, yeah, looking at the boxes is going to be key because you know it definitely hit the below the 23% as we were looking for it to go down. So
Okay,
this morning,
perfect.
yeah. Mhm.
So as I mentioned, guys, right, this higher time frame sessions template that I have two indicators. One is the weekly candle, one is the daily candle, and more specifically, right, um, when you click on the settings here, you can show or hide the range in pips. Let's go ahead and we already know we're maxed out for the week, but I normally don't have them on on this setting on the daily one because I don't want it to get in the way. It will get in the way, right, with the other number. But let's look closely of the volume that we got yesterday. Okay, Monday it moved $65, 650 pips. Tuesday it impulsed $554, which is 540 pips. This this sell today on Wednesday, it wasn't just a pullback; it was a pretty strong one. Right? It's a pretty strong one. So I can see us get one more little bounce to the downside before maybe we establish ourselves upwards. It's almost repeating itself like last week. Check this out, guys, right here. Right, we had a $59 push, then a $28 push, and then a 61 drop, and then we complete another pullback and then to the downside. And then maybe that's where takes off. So I do see this $61.76 or 610 pip move down is pretty strong. It is pretty strong. So we'll definitely analyze to see how that comes into play there.
Yeah, and what I also want to see show you here is we got that. You know how you like to say, you start a pattern, it wants to finish a pattern. So here we have a nice A to B. Is that right? Elliott wave. Yeah, so 0 to 1,
Oh yeah.
and then we got the big long push to 3. There's our 4, and now we just need the 5.
Okay. Let me zoom out a little bit on that just to see if we can use that information, Dan. Let's see. That is very likely to happen. You started from,
I started basically from right here, actually.
yeah, the previous week.
Or this one right here. Either one of those two.
Yeah, I do like the previous week. Yeah, as long as we don't come in, I think this is still an Elliott wave. If we just barely missed the previous weekly high. But yeah, I do like that. I was wondering if this is a pullback or is it a trend reversing? I would still say it's a pullback because of these three consecutive candles.
Mhm.
Okay. However, the pullback is strong. The pullback is strong. All right. So let's go ahead and measure the these last 3 days, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday with the fib. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and measure that one. I do like to use um just for this as a visual. Remember, every time price makes three consecutive strong pushes, we can always draw a box on all three of them together like so. Okay. That's the entire range of those 3 days. It could be 3 hour candles. It could be, 4 hour candles, but there goes the 50% of it, guys. Okay. So that's technically the last 3 days right there. Okay. And then we measure these last 3 days. There we are.
Yep, that's
Okay.
right. There's that 382. Yeah.
382 just missed the 50%. And right now, the 23% is behaving like a resistance level. Okay, right there. Okay, behaving like a resistance level. Okay, so we closed the day, we pulled back, and we barely kind of rebalanced that 23%. And now the 38% buyers are stepping in. Maybe we push it down to that 50%. Okay, kind of clean that up. So, with that being said, right, this is the impulse of these last 3 days, correct? Let me color this just darker. That's fine. Okay. That's the impulse of the last 3 days. However, this day is also very important because it's a strong bearish day, correct? So here we're gonna fib, we're gonna get the high, just how we do it. Let me go to the daily candlestick so you guys can see it, okay? How everything connects back to a lower time frame. So this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is currently today. And I'll put a line up there, previous daily high. So we'll call this previous daily high. All right. And then we'll call this previous daily low. Okay. And you see the range there. Let's go back to that 2 hour chart. And it's perfectly in sync with that range. Okay. So once we have a high and low or low high, right, we actually can use the fib on it. Okay, we can use the fib. And I'll get this out the way just so because we already you saw how we got this fib to the right hand side. I'll get this out the way. And then we'll measure Wednesday's candle. And there it is, guys. Okay. This is Wednesday's candle. Color this red for down. And if we can get below this 23% of the previous day, I would like for the sales to maybe continue to the extension, which will kind of hit us in between the 50 and the 61%. I need to like, you mean on the right hand side practically like this? Yeah, so no, most of the times, right, we always get the fib from low to high like this, but it's just about finding those points. And like, so I'm considering this the low and just basically just kind of just like an imaginary line, imaginary range, and I extended. Okay, it is a little unorthodox, but it's simply because it's not usually drawn that way, but it's been working out for us pretty good for visual purposes, and it does help, right? It
It's
does
about
help.
the crosshairs that you have set up, the dashed lines, the crosshairs with the cursor. So you've got the dashed
Oh yeah, I
line.
got you. Good job, right there.
Makes a great tool for eyeballing.
Yep. Yeah, give or take. Yeah. So to me, guys, I think if we get below this 23% level, which is the price level of 37.32-ish, maybe get a nice 15-minute candlestick to close, we could potentially come to the extensions right there as a good target and a potential good target for also for us to buy, right? Let's do this. Previous day target extensions. And that is how we map out a chart of where where we at now, where's price going, and how do we enter, right? So if there is momentum to the downside, I'd like us to continue going down there, which this is the price level of 37.07, 37.02. Okay, perfect. All right, so from here, guys, we got everything mapped out. I really don't use the sessions too much on now. Wait for the New York session to come in. But now here we start, going into our indicator template and review structure. And yeah, I mean, momentum is still very bearish, guys. Um, Momentum is bearish. Structure is also bearish intraday. And I would like for us to really keep pushing downwards. Let's see, 4 hours from now. 5 hours. Yeah, so at 2 o'clock, this box right here will start declining. Right now, it's a little overbought. It's at a 569 pip range, which is a little too much for my liking. But things are starting to be a little bearish to the downside, and just could potentially come there to this 37.02 target. Okay, so that's the setup, guys, that I see for the weekly outlook. I mean, the midweek review and the weekly outlook. Price section could have been in a lower time frame. It was a 4 hour. It's probably this one, but yeah, that was way long ago. That's that's not even a target for this week. Any ETM candles, Dynamo, that catch your attention?
Yeah, I think I'm right. Somewhere right in here.
Yeah, I was about to say that same thing.
Yeah, I just couldn't see it very good. Yeah, there we go. I'll take this rally base rally, this kind of looking like thing. So that would be go to your 2 hour,
2 hour.
and there she blows, right? We got a BC. I'll take that.
Yeah, that one. 36.55. Very
Yeah.
similar to what Fernandes is saying.
Yep.
Let's see. Forex.com. Yeah, I think that's definitely a target. I am actually then before we get to that area, I am favoring very near this
One right
extension,
there.
though these three candlesticks right here. This
Yeah.
little this
There you
little
go.
series of candlesticks. Okay, we got a little
Yep.
rally rally there. And then we got this nice engulfing candle, kind of a little bit of imbalance right there, fair value gap action, and it's lining up perfectly with the extensions. So I personally would trade towards it, not immediately buy from it, because when we get to this area, the momentum will be bearish, right? So it's something that I won't do immediately, but I do see a nice reaction from right there. So if I scoot this over here, perfect area as well for this 1 hour fair value gap. And also too, we got this 1 hour rally based rally, which I also like this one. which I believe Dynamo, that's actually
Yep, that's the one.
36,
Yeah, yeah,
3670. That's a good one right there too.
yeah.
These right here. Good. So how can we get there, right? So how does price flow? Well, price flows in N waves, right? Um, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. Maybe we get a deeper correction because that's a fair rally, gap fill, 1 hour rally, base rally. Then maybe we get down here, and then we need to accumulate a little bit before we start going back to the top side. You see that, guys? That's why it's important to understand price, patterns, because before it
So here,
actually buys, it needs to
yeah.
create this range. Go over them.
So what I would recommend is on this. You got the fib, the bearish fib there on.
Mm-hmm.
And flip on the extension the same way you have the -1
Okay.
on the other account. It'll. So yeah.
On
So
this one,
add.
right?
Yeah. So add the -1 to -618.
I feel like the negative one action too, man. So let's just put that there. Perfect. Look at
Because the
that.
reason why I say that is because since we made it all the way to a -1 on the using this impulse, we could possibly do the same thing, and that'd be a huge somewhere. Yeah, definitely. So if you put the 7.8, even the -772 or 72%,
Yeah.
was somewhere in there, which actually -72% will equal to this that rally
Yeah.
base rally there.
It's right in between both of them.
Yep.
It's a negative.
Yeah, then -72. Yeah. There you go. Did it hit it? Yeah,
Give,
beautiful.
give, give or take. Yeah.
Give or take. Yeah. So I would look for that as a my next line of support somewhere in that zone.
Okay.
So take profit one would be this first one. Take
Mm-hmm.
profit two would be here, and then look for the buys. Start looking for the buys. Do the buy.
The buys to the buy or the buys to 4,000, guys. Yeah, so I agree with that. I do like that as well. We do have some we're again, right, we talked about it in one of the classes or one of the sessions, right? How this is a big impulse, low to high, which is connected to this fib over here. And this is the strong level, which it doesn't look like it's pushing up. And then it's going to come and touch the trending level. And if that doesn't come up, it'll come into the Fernandes favorite level, the institutional level, buy low level. And here, right, could be the move that can definitely take us back to that so talked about 4,000 price range, all the way up there. Okay, all the way up there. I think it's going to be a while before we get to that, but if we can get a good position from a bottom, from high or low area, you just never know, right? There it is. Even before we get to 4,000, this swing, the -618 only puts us at 38,900, and the one puts us at 39,950. So just be mindful of that. But I think between now in London and New York, I think we could potentially do see a sell towards the downside. Yeah, towards the downside. We're actually, man, I'll review right quick the SMT indicator, but let me go ahead and share this, guys, and we'll just see how everything will play out today with the speculation. I am liking this. We had a rally base rally, which is now a flip zone. As so, 45 minutes on a Saxo broker chart. Okay. Best case scenario, we already broke it and retested already. And we go down. Okay. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, we go back and kind of complete a harmonic. Okay. Something like this. and then we sell from the D point. Okay, that's the worst case scenario that could happen in this sense. There's also a drop base drop in 15 at 37.40. Beautiful. Okay. Worst case scenario, right? We just need a little bit of liquidity from here and create this little the pattern X A B C, or excuse me, A B C correction, A B C D correction, and then we sell off. Let's see, 15 minutes. Look at that, guys. This little drop base drop. There's one right there. Who should I don't know. There is one right there, right? There is one. There's also this one right here. And this one, Andy has one 37.62-ish on the 2-hour chart and the 6-hour chart. Yeah, give or take. Maybe fill about 50% of that candlestick, give or take, and so forth from there. Yeah, I would love for it to fall down now. Looks like that, man. I would love for it to fall down from right here, Alvaro. Just be mindful. You can come back for this high. We can come back and retest the 23%, right, of that day. Okay, and you just never know. Okay. Previous day, 23%. So, and if we do sell from up here, guys, take profit for me is one is at 20 at the 23% level. And then we can potentially take it back down just to be cautious. Okay. So we'll play it like that. Good markup. I like it. Let me share this link with you guys. Perfect. And let's go to the 2-hour view to give us a better visual without the harmonics. Let's see. We'll take some time here to quickly review kind of what happened today. We got the outlook, the midweek out. Use that for your references. Mark it up. But we will now just kind of review what happened today. And again, right, we have a system that I use called structure momentum timing. For the most part, directional wise, I believe it's hitting about 80%, in the right direction, meaning that I'm always trying to trade, with the strongest move during New York session. For the most part, I'm mainly using the indicator during the New York session at 8 a.m. Central Time. It was in an interesting scenario. If we rewind back to 7 o'clock in the morning, I believe at that time, right, it was actually bearish. So this system that I have here is basically helping us not look left too much, right? Not get too much data and just kind of use what's in front of us to trade with momentum. Okay, let me go to this chart here. As I mentioned to you guys, right, there is going to be a slight update on this indicator, meaning that let me see here. Let me rewind one more time back to 7:50 in the morning. Just a very, very small update on it. I removed some extra, it was a little heavy. So I removed some things that wasn't really being used as much. One thing that you'll notice that I did add is we're able now to show or hide the boxes. right? So if you just want to just see the structure by itself, that's the frame. If you just want to see momentum by itself, you can just see momentum by itself, right? So you can pick and choose what what part of the indicator it has. And at the same time, it makes it easier for me to educate on it as well, right? So for example, here, right, if we're just talking about the Kumo 204, which is the big old box, right here, right, at 6:55 in the morning, 7 o'clock, the structure was still bearish simply because the highest candle is there and the lowest candle is there going in this direction. As the box shifts forward, right? If in the like it does here, right there, you see the box shifted forward and it switched the structure bullish, right? It switched the structure bullish. So that's how that structure box works. Okay. However, right, inside of this box, right, even though the structure is bullish, right, to the top side, I have two important fib levels in this box, right? And when the structure is bullish, this is the 23%, and this is give or take the 78% of a fib. Okay. So this level is very strong. We need to break and retest to really go higher. Okay, to really go higher. And today's price action, guys, I mean, Pablo, I know you like to use it a lot. We could simply at some, if you have a feeling that you're more bearish today than bullish for whatever reason, right? You can simply put a sell limit right at the top 23%, stop loss at the high, TP1 always right here because we're going to get an area resistance. I do have some TP lines as well, where you can projection lines. There it is. And these are good targets as well, especially the blue one. A good first target to hit. Okay. So if we hit play, look at that, guys. See how price hovered in there for a long time? But notice what happened here. The moment we made a low here, now the structure went bearish, and we still had some room to operate at least to right there. Still an $11 drop. And I think it made it. Yep, it sure did. Okay. So that's how you use just one box by itself, right? And with the new update that I'll try to push out tomorrow, we can hide that. Remember Dan mentioning, let's see here. Thanks for the
Yeah, yeah.
questions.
Mhm. Yeah, the
Yes,
trade.
yes, yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 23. Go, yeah, go for it, Dan. You can mention it right here.
Yeah,
What
the
you say?
23% lines. Yeah, it's like I treat them exactly like a fib. So
Perfect.
my play is just always, and this is my sweet spot I work in every time. And remember this morning, I said I wasn't convinced until we got below
Mhm,
that lower one. And once it broke that, I go, oh, cool, we can actually hit this level here.
mhm,
And like I said, if you measure that from here to here, was that a $10, $15
mhm.
drop or something like that?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is. So
that,
Prachi, yeah, those are not fib levels. Those are actually they are based on there's a calculation that I enter manually for us, and it's connected to the daily range and the New York range. Okay. So I did do a coding in there that the daily range for gold, right? Let me go ahead and hide drawings and go to the other chart. So I just don't like how Amber reads pips. So the daily range now, because in September 2025, it's been moving so much, right? So this has been updated to reflect that. So on the daily range, the last 21 days has been 483 pips. I take 90% of that. And if you're looking for sales from the high to that red line, That is 90% of that daily range that you see up there. Okay. Remember how every time we mark up charts in the morning, I look to see how much distance gold has traveled during New York. Well, these lines are right there for you. Okay. This blue line is actually the New York. I run it up or down. Okay. So from the high to the low, 357, 37. Did I do that right? Let me just double check because I was updating this right now. It's not that easy to code, so I'm not worried, y'all. 375, the low range. So yeah, it needs to be updated to 358. Yeah, 358. Perfect. Okay, so I'll update that right now. But yeah, that's what it is right there. Right. So it's really, really helpful for us on those 5 minute time frames, guys. I think Dan says that he's getting to a habit where he doesn't even change time frames anymore. Right?
Yep.
It doesn't, you don't even change time frames anymore. You
Mhm.
just simply just if you if you start your day and there's still room to go here or room to go there, we can trade. If we're already at those areas, it's probably best not to trade. Kind of let the market balance itself out. Okay. So long story short, they're not extensions, Prachi. They're targets based on the averages that I do every single morning. Okay. And in this scenario,
A quick question for you, G.
yes,
So
sir.
that 21 average is going to always change every week, right?
Hey, I try to code it then to where it does it automatically. I just can't get the coding right. So right now, just hard code, it's hardwired to,
Okay.
I'm kind of checking it every quarter, just to see how it is. But yeah, that will change. That will change a bit unless I see a massive change. We'll just kind of keep things as is. But I
Gotcha.
did, I did update it because the daily range has increased a lot. All right, guys, let's see here. Where did my drawings go for this? All right. So yeah, so that was the setup today. That was the setup today for us to take. We would have been countering the structure, and again, it's perfectly fine. The structure color, it is not for us to always buy. What is it for? Just so we can put the direction of the fib, right? Just how we fib the previous daily candle based on its open and close, the same thing we do here, right? The structure is only telling us which direction to fib. So this is the low and this is the high. Okay. And we just know that price likes to travel through the levels, and it's attracted to the 23% level and the 78% level. And if there's enough space there, maybe we can take a whole trade to the downside. And si Pablo toca ahí muy bien todo el tiempo. That would have been the play for today during New York session. But the moment this happened, like here, I don't have the box on, but the momentum started shifting bearish. That
Yeah.
could have been our setup right there as well.
Yeah, it was just these last few once we had this full wick candlestick right there underneath the 23 line or 786, I was right.
That was it.
That was it. That's what I was waiting for. That's what I was saying during the class. So same
You're
thing.
right. You're right, man. Because I've seen that price level bounce in that area down. I've
Yeah.
seen it, and then from there it went down.
Yeah. Bada bing,
Yep,
bada boom.
that's
Bada
right.
bing, bada boom, baby.
That's right. And look right here. Look at this, Dan. Look at this.
Yep.
This is
Again, it's the
exact. This is
same.
exactly what Dan was talking about as
Mhm.
price is happening right now, guys.
So now I'm looking to hit this level, see what happens there. And
1 second. So see, price looks like without the indicator, even without those smaller boxes, right? Price looks like it's just ready to melt, right? It looks like it's just ready to melt. Let's go. right? Let's go. The structure is bearish, so we fib a bearish direction, which we technically do not need, right? Because that is the 23% all the time. But right now, you see how these lines, they should not be here.
Nope.
These are projection lines. They should be over here.
Mm-hmm.
But why they're here? Because this range is so big. So
Yeah.
right now, the range of the last 17 hours is wider than the range of the last 24 hours. Okay. So it's gonna be very bouncy. So just kind of best to kind of leave it alone for a minute. But again, though, right, in order for something to be very bearish, we need to break below this 23%. We need to break it. And that 23% level, look at that. And now look at that.
Yep. And now it's going back to the direction that I like because I wanted to test this level before it continues going down or break it and continue going up.
Mm-hmm.
That's that simple. And then you can play in between. That's why it's for me, it's a comfortable zone. Just measure the pips between those two lines.
There's plenty of pips, man.
Oh, plenty of pips.
$30, 300 pips, man.
300 pips. And like I said, you're almost guaranteed every time to grab those pips.
Mm-hmm. Where's my
The challenge we got here is the 23% on your previous daily, because look at where the oracle's sitting right there.
Yep.
And watch also when this passes this point up here, this box also will shrink.
Mm-hmm.
And that 23 line will move down to either meet the previous daily 23% level. That's what I'm talking about. And either it'll switch directions and momentum will go up the other way.
100%. So check this
That's
out,
why I said
guys.
you can stay on one time frame and you don't have to really jump around. I get my weekly. I look at my weekly. I look at my 4 hour, just like we always do. But once I found that sweet spot,
Mm-hmm.
have my direction, I'm on the 5 minute and I never change it.
Yeah, let's close out from here. Just hide these for now. Okay, so check this out, guys, right? This is the structure is bearish. I believe there's a 15-minute BC there. There's also one up there. And here goes that top 23% line from that big structure, right? So it's visualizing patterns, right? Visualizing patterns. So we got the impulse down, got the retracement, got the pullback at the 38%. And we can complete that pattern, that 20, and then there goes the harmonic that we drew earlier, remember? Right there.
Bada bing, bada boom.
So yes.
Yeah.
Pablo, Pablo, ya cuando si ya tengamos acceso en la comunidad, todos, sí. Ahorita me estoy esperando. Por eso estoy terminando este curso, porque ya en el futuro vamos a dar opciones para que tengan acceso a la comunidad y ya poder usarlo, porque sí, sí me falta. Lo necesito en veces. All right, guys. So, there goes the wrap up for this session. Thank you guys for being here. You got the charts. Any questions? The telegrams are open. The discords are open. Um, the telegrams are open for sure. And then we'll be back tomorrow for live trading in the Yes Academy. Um, little by little, we'll continue to improve and help this system help you. And if you have any questions, always free to reach out to us.
And I put the links for the video from last Sunday in the Discord group Legacy so far. I forget where else we need to post them to. Like I said, we have too many chat groups.
Yeah, we're gonna try to minimize that for sure, Danimal. Yeah, because even I'm getting confused, man.
I know, right?
Yeah, Alvaro, I would, but I would just kind of honestly, I would rather just put an alarm
Yeah.
because the system right now it is overextended.
Mhm.
It is overextended a lot because of these
My
live
first
generators.
alarm I'd put at the 23 right there,
Yeah,
that level.
yeah,
And then my
yep.
second one. So right at this blue line, and the red line, put alarms both ways
Oops.
on both sides too. So
Yep.
That's the beautiful thing about those inside lines like that. Even though we're, like I said, we're overstretched, those inside lines become valuable because then we can say, let's set an alert to see if we're going to go above that price or if we're
True.
going to go below that price. So,
All right. Well, good stuff, Dan. Well, thank you, everybody. We will close it out. And yeah, I think Nico, the you'll get an alert on the YouTube once it's uploaded. I'll be uploading all three sessions for today. Thank you guys. Have a great evening. We'll see you in the morning. Thanks. Bye.
la vista, baby.